Joining us now is Sheitan Atigarin with stories trending around the world. Hello, Sheitan.
Good morning,
Doctor. It's now
Doctor.
your opportunity now to do well.
Good morning, Doctor.
Yeah, doing well.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Adesua.
Good morning,
Of course,
Sheitan.
a ray of sunshine in yellow.
And you're bright and white.
Rufai, good morning. How are you?
Lady in white, Sheitan. You're angelic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Rufai the poet.
We only have a few minutes to go, so let's get this wrapped up very quickly. The governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, was left dispirited at the palace of the Oba of Benin after his convoy was blocked by angry residents, numbering in hundreds, who booed and ridiculed him. Governor Obaseki was reportedly at the palace for royal blessings as he flagged off his campaign as the candidate of the PDP in the governorship election, and upon sighting his convoy from a distance, the people who were rejoicing and making merry as is usual at the Asian Palace immediately formed an angry mob of protesters and confronted the embattled governor with chants of thief and other slurs. Obaseki and his accompanying aides were left perplexed, and all attempts to salvage the situation only further angered the crowd, who insisted that he leaves, stating that he has been rejected and is no longer their governor. Well, the first tweet there reads, well, Oshomole also once called Pastor Ize Iyamu a thief too. So Edo State has two thieves running for the office of the governor. Interesting. May the better thief win. Stephen there says, talk sponsored by the APC. We understand the game. Nothing is new to us again in this politics of cat and rat between the APC and PDP. The final tweet on that issue there says, I pity this our country. Politicians are just using us, the youth, to humiliate people in power. No matter what, Obaseki is still a governor. We have to show respect to the seat of the governor. Last 4 years, Adams Oshomole was saying good about him. Now it's the opposite. Adesua, our Edo princess, talk to us. What's going on?
Yes, this is your home matter.
Sheitan not doing well. She's learning bad things. Yeah, as someone who comes from Edo State, this is sad rhetoric, to be honest. When I saw this unfolding, it's a desecration of what the Oba's palace is. It's an aberration. It should be condemned by all. Now we're talking about the better thief winning the election. It is really sad. And I think that this gives, an opportunity for the security operatives, especially the police, which would be the lead agency in these elections, to get their act together. You already paint a picture of what this election would be like. The desperation of politicians are beginning to show. It's very palpable. But like I said, as someone who is from Edo, and what the Oba's Palace means to me, it is totally, totally condemnable.
Yes, I agree with you on every point, but let us hope that this will not be an indication of what will happen during the election. Because in the course of the crisis in Edo State, the political conflicts in that state, we've been saying that it's the interest of the people that should be paramount. And that in all the conversation that we have had from Edo State, nobody is talking about the people's interest.
Yes.
And now the people are being involved, are getting involved at the level of thuggery, at the level of tools being used by politicians. Now, at the center of this conflict is the PDP and the APC. The PDP is alleging that the incumbent governor of Edo State legitimately went to pay homage to the Oba of Benin, which is a traditional thing that politicians do. And to the best of the knowledge of the PDP, the APC did not have a function at that palace. They didn't have a program, either at the palace ground or a schedule to see the Oba of Benin. And then, of course, they showed up there. APC supporters showed up there in large numbers, vandalized vehicles, we were told, attacked members of the PDP. And I think that, look, that's not a good sign. And I hope that the police in Edo State will do due diligence and ensure that the perpetrators of that riotous conduct and behavior and vandalism around the Oba's palace are identified and made, to face the wrath of the law. But I think at the end of the day, we should just call on the political class in Edo State to act responsibly and to ensure that the election is not between one thief or the better thief. The people of Edo State do not think that they are going into that September 19 election to elect a thief. So if some people are making the comment that this is about a choice between two thieves, that must be quite unfortunate indeed, Adesua, that's in your state. Thievery is being elevated to the level of a political choice.
Rufai,
that's most unfortunate.
Rufai, you need to chime in here. What do you make of these recent events in Edo State?
I mean, I'm quite very sad. And why I'm sad is I know Edo people to be very conservative. They will never do this in front of the Oba's palace. So, in fact, I talked to somebody out of Edo State yesterday and they said, something is wrong somewhere. But whatever is wrong somewhere, please let us keep the peace. We can't say because of politics we will desecrate a very revered palace, that has been here, and a kingdom that has been here since hundreds of, many hundreds of years, over 300 or 400 years. But most importantly, what I'm concerned about is the Edo people. Because if those young people protesting and shouting, oh, they have jobs, I think they'll be at their duty post that day. They wouldn't be where they are, there, shouting and all sorts. I mean, I keep making this comparison that you can't call for a political protest in the weekend in the UK and expect people to fill the roads because people are going to be at their workplace. So most importantly, let's create more jobs for the Edo people so that they have things to do. And it's going to be...
This one.
It's good.
Your people are jobless?
I would humbly receive all the bashing for the Edo people on behalf of the politicians embarrassing us.
I'm not saying the people are jobless, but it's indicative that we need to create more jobs for the people in Edo State. That's what I'm saying. It's indicative.
All over the country.
Yeah, all over the country.
Okay, very quickly, let's move on to our next story. Nigerian charity Slum2school has gone digital by creating a virtual learning hub. According to the founder, Orondam Otto, 948 children from over rural and underserved communities have been enrolled in the organization's virtual classes. Through Slum2school, the children are given a data subscription, a mobile tablet, and Microsoft Office team access to continue their education, which was disrupted since schools were shut down as early as March this year. The plan is to reach up to 10,000 learners by the end of the year, and the classes are designed to mimic classroom interactions found in a traditional school setting and are billed as the first of its kind in the country and within the sub-Saharan region. Now, the first read there reads, as a school administrator and entrepreneur, how do kids benefit from this, knowing how difficult it has been, even in the city, to maintain the online teaching that is the norm today? Any learning that is dependent on network and electricity, I am sorry to say, is still a big issue. There's no time there, so we can't take the rest of the tweets, but I really want to know very quickly what you think about this Slum2school initiative. People are saying that the problem here is really the internet. If there's no internet, how can these children learn?
But the internet has been provided in this situation for them. This story is mixed emotions for me, sad and happy. I'm happy that who could have thought this would come from a slum school in Nigeria? And I'm sad because when you even look at their partners, they are American companies, American sports company, American food company, and the future of learning is digital. But what are we talking about? Is anybody even looking at school after COVID?
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, well said there.
Yeah.
We don't have much time.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Shaitan.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. You are doing well.
Thank you.